I've built a rocket factory in Minecraft. Since in the previous episode I practically used all the rockets while getting the netherite for the dude couple beacon, I needed to restock them. And what better way than to make a factory to have infinite rockets? As I already had a clear idea of the construction I wanted to make, the first step was to look for information about the characteristics of nuclear power plants, the size of the towers, where are they usually built, and to find one that could serve as inspiration. Once I had the information, the next step was to design the construction. The shape of the towers is known as a hyperbola. Here are the two nuclear power plants that will inspire my design. The first one is the Cofrentes nuclear power plant, and the second, which I think everyone knows, is the one from The Simpsons. Wait, why don't I get dressed, take the car, and we go to Cofrentes to see the plant? Once I arrived, I asked several people if there was a good place to see the nuclear plant clearly. They gave me two suggestions. First, they advised me not to go to the first one because there was a small flea infestation this year, and since I had my dog with me, I didn't want to take the risk. The second option was to climb this mountain, from which I could see the plant perfectly. Now it's time to head back. Honestly, after this experience, I was super inspired. So I opened my testing and design world and oops, that's for another video. You haven't seen anything.
You didn't see anything.
Now, let's get to work on the design. I'm pretty happy with the result, honestly. Can't wait to build it. Here I'm showing you the list of materials we need. I should have saved more materials in the previous episode. I'm not sure if I'll have enough. Now, I need to find the perfect location for building our plant. As we've seen, nuclear plants are usually built near rivers. So, I'm going to look for an area that's not too far from the base and not too far from a river, and I'll build it there. Whoop, I think this lake is convincing me quite a lot, honestly. So, it seems we found the location. Perfect. Now, it's time to gather all the materials. First, I'm going to make a stone farm because I don't feel like mining so much stone manually. I've built a small box here to keep me safe while I'm AFK. Now, I just hold down the mouse button with F3 and T, and it goes on its own. So, see you in a bit. Alright, I think I have more than enough stone now. Next, I need a string dapper for cobwebs because thanks to a data pack I made, I can craft them. Yes, a data pack I made myself. Now for the iron bars. I already have a ton generated in the farm I set up while doing everything in the previous episode, so it's time we start crafting with it. You know what? Since I need several beacons, I'll take advantage and I'll make a wither skeleton farm, kill a bunch of wither bosses, and I'll have beacons till I get bored. Now that I have all the wither stars, I only need 192 blocks of obsidian for the beacons, along with many other materials. So let's speed things up. I don't think I'll find more coral here, huh? So I think I'll have to look for another reef. But anyway, let's keep collecting the rest of the materials we need to start construction. Now, the first step is to prepare the terrain. With everything ready, it's finally time to build Honestly, I was so excited to start because I've spent a week preparing everything and I was itching to start building. Okay, let's start with the floor. And just like that, without the floor done, it'll be much easier to complete the rest of the construction. Next, I'll build a storage room, and after that I'll make the modules so they can generate gunpowder while I finish it. But what about the 40 cats I need? Luckily, I've already been collecting them. I also realized I need a lot of terracotta, especially cyan colored terracotta. So let me introduce you to Terry. Thanks to him, I can get all the cyan terracotta I need. For the rest of the terracotta, I'll just mine it and use dye to color it. Alright, now it should be producing. I'll show you everything inside when it's finished. Oh, by the way, there's already a bit of gunpowder. Now I'll build the last two buildings with their waste towers, which hold a surprise, but you'll see it at the end of the video. Ooh, this is already taking shape, and honestly, I think it's turning out spectacular, and that's without you seeing everything yet. But for now, let's focus on the most important part of a nuclear power plant, the cooling towers. Let's get to it.
This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Reactor failure. Evacuate the area immediately. This is not a drill. I repeat, this is not a drill. Reactor failure. Evacuate the area immediately.
Well, this is it. It's all over. that's the end of today's episode. I'm joking! How cool it be ending now, just when the best part is coming. By the way, I hope you liked the little clip, which took me several hours to edit. Just for that, this video deserves a like. First of all, this helicopter is the AFK platform. Give me a moment to explain you something. Alright, I'm going to talk about the spawn sphere. Basically, it's a sphere of 128 blocks around the player, and any hostile mob that lives, it despawns. We can use this to avoid perimeter setups. As you can see, it's placed exactly where only creepers spawn in the modules, except at night when they also spawn in the towers. But it is what it is with the decoration. Efficiency takes a slight hit. Now, after this small technical explanation, I'll show you all the decorations. You're going to love them. First, here's my office, which as you can see, it's fully decorated. By the way, these books hide secrets. Here's the control room, one of them, since there's another one across from it. As you can see, they have their own screens, which are obviously showing errors because, as you've seen, we had a tiny accident, which, to add more depth and lore, I decided to leave him here. Let's say there are people or workers working throughout the plant, adding detail and more depth to the nuclear plant so it doesn't feel empty. And it just starts raining now, I can't believe it. Anyway, I'll show you what's here. As I mentioned before, it's not just for decoration. And that's why inside this building is a sugarcane farm. And in that other building, there's another farm. From here, you can see the pistons. As you can see, it's modular. This means that if I need more sugarcane, I can expand downwards or replicate the same system on the other side, producing even more. Speaking of systems, let me show you how the transport system works. It's a bit complex. The sugarcane falls here, moves through here, and then goes through this tube until it reaches this fully functional tank. As you can see, all the metal pipes here and on the other side, and just for show, they're functional. The sugarcane joins the gunpowder from here and moves along, just like the sugarcane travels its route. I had to plan this very carefully to ensure everything flowed where it needed to go without items getting stuck. After several tests, I got it to work perfectly. Finally, we come to the most beautiful and impressive part, which is the two cooling towers. And I also must say, getting the ellipsoid shape right was the most time-consuming part of all the project, because you might think, it's just potting circles, but it's not as easy as it looks. Another detail, you can enter the towers through these doors, I ordered to get open. In nuclear plant towers, the bases aren't straight, they are diagonal, but I tested it and it looked quite weird, so I decided to make them straight instead. I think I'm the unluckiest person on all of YouTube Minecraft. I was recording the outro and I crashed into the ground and died. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed it and I'll see you in the next episode. But that reminded me I hadn't recorded all this part, which is showing how all this is working perfectly now. Like, look, I just press here and I already have rockets. But I have to recognize that I feel like the sugarcane isn't generating enough, so I might have to expand the modules. I hope you enjoyed the video, see you in the next episode, goodbye!